two really interesting companies, quite relatively small, I would say. NeoCortec, their main business at the moment is in wireless transmission in smart buildings. And they've got a fantastic deal with Honeywell to really sort of kit out buildings, and it's wonderful that they're able to put them in so easily with the technology. However, they're very good with their skills. They're training up younger engineers and putting them into situations where they can show what they can do. And they had one guy who really created an installation using their technology that he then wrote software for. I think they put him in front of customers, which I think is a great thing to do. Which more companies to do that? The other company we saw was Pickering, which is over 50 years old now, talking to the son of the founder about how the company is developing its products. It's got manufacturing in both Czechoslovakia and in the UK, so it's had a few strong views about manufacturing in the UK, the effects of Brexit, of course, and componentering, which is in a better situation to weather because it's making its own stuff. But it's nice to get an independent view of a smaller manufacturer that's been around for quite a long time. So quite interesting. So good luck with that.
Yeah, that was the first challenge for us to come up with a name. When we started out, we were completely technology focused. We were developing this network technology, wireless mesh network technology from the ground up, and at the beginning never thought of creating a company really. So once we had the technology available, we had to commercialize it. Then we had to come up with a company, and we thought the core idea with this technology was that we don't have this central coordination happening in the network. It's all distributed, it's self-organizing. So we thought about the neocortex of the human body being, let's say, the part of your brain that handles the activities in the background that you don't need to worry about. So we thought, why don't we do a spin on that and call it NeoCortec? So that was how that was let's say, created.
Pickering started in the late 1960s, actually by my father, John Moore, manufacturing various reed relays. Then about 20 years later, we branched out into putting those relays into modules, just switching modules, like these ones here. So there's kind of two strengths to Pickering's. There's the reed relays and there's the switching modules. Since then we've grown a lot. Most of the design is still done in the UK. Manufacturing is in the UK and Czech Republic. And at the current time we're up to about 550 employees. 350 Czech and most of the rest in the UK.
So application for the technology is a relevant question, and as I said in the beginning, we started with the technology, and that's usually not how you should do it. You should start with the problem, then create the solution for the problem. We actually created a solution without knowing if there was a problem to solve or not. So yeah, in the beginning when we started commercializing the technology, it was all about the technology and not so much about the applications, and was fishing in the big pond, I guess, for anybody who was interested in working with us. So I think over the past years we've been more focused. Smart building technologies is a really big theme for us. We have really interesting cases going on. We have a big one with Honeywell for fire detection systems in commercial buildings. So that is of course a very big application for this technology. We have other ones as well. Indoor climate monitoring, control of heat is very relevant these days with the energy crisis. So we have customers who are providing solutions that helps the building owners to reduce energy consumption. So it allowed us to focus, I guess. Interestingly enough, the case with Honeywell that we've been working on came about during COVID. So that I don't know if it was because of that, but anyway, it happened at the time. But it allowed us to focus, and now coming back to Electronica since 4 years, we are here with a bit of a different story than I guess what we had last time we were here. So a lot more focused on applications. We have a very nice demo case with us that was done by an intern that works for us, who just joined us this summer. So with this demo that we have here, we wanted to show our visitors how easy it is to work with the technology, because the technology brings some clear advantages, and one of them is not so much about the usual things you talk about, like low power, scalability and all of these things, but it's also about how easy you can build a product based on the technology. So time to market is of course something everybody wants to be concerned about, but we really think we have an edge there. So we challenged Marcus, our student worker, to come up with this demo. He had 2 months to do it. So the challenge was to install sensors in the hall B5 we were in. So he did 25 prototypes of sensors based on our technology, installed them on Monday evening here in the hall, and then wrote some application software that shows our visitors the data that they are gathering and how the network operates. So that has been extremely helpful for us. So it's easy to talk to the visitors about how the stuff is working, but then also a little bit bold statement, if a first year student can do this in 2 months, then anybody should be able to.
We put a lot of our revenue back into R&D, so we're constantly pumping out new products, both on the relays and on the kind of switching module side. So we're pushing out new products typically every 6 weeks. And those fill a lot of niches, so we don't go for kind of a product we make in very large volume. We're trying to like a high mix, low volume manufacturer, so we have a lot of very, very wide range of products in PXI, LXI formats. But we offer the exact fit for whatever a customer wants. So rather than just having one product in the range, we might have 10 or 20. So they can kind of choose as much or as little as they want for that application. Flexibility in manufacturing is important to us. We don't mass produce products really. It's more kind of mass customization. So the model we've got is we kind of build to order, but we build quickly to order. So for example, you might look at a product and say, yeah, I want something from this family, there's 20 different versions. We can build the particular version you want quickly to order. So it's a very flexible kind of manufacturing system where you can make one or you can make 100.
We are really focusing on the smart buildings, and that's where we see a lot of growth potential for us. The whole energy crisis, the whole focus on carbon emission lowering is something where we see we have a great potential.
Because of all the problems of Brexit, the delays and the vast amounts of paperwork, wasteful paperwork, we pushed more production to Czech Republic. In addition, because the UK economy kind of tanked and the pound tanked, we export 97% of our production. So it was great. Profit-wise, fantastic for Pickering. Sadly, if we'd have been a UK-only company, it would have been the opposite, I think. But for us, ironically, it's actually a benefit. Well, component shortages do bother us, but probably not as much as other people. Our mass customization business model means we have deep stock, so when the supply chain issues came along, we were already fairly well prepared. And ironically, through Brexit, we're even better prepared than we would have been. So when the supply chain problems hit, we had very large stocks. So we pulled through it much, much easier, I think, than other companies would have done.
When we, let's say, attract new talent to NeoCortec, it's much about, let's say, the desire to learn new stuff. I mean, as an engineer in particular, like in the case of Marcus who joined us, he's just starting out his career. And he gets some, let's say, some skills throughout the education that he takes, but really the life of an engineer is about learning throughout your career. So regardless if we have some of our senior engineers or we have some of our junior engineers, all of them are eager to learn.
Skills as a British company, without getting too political, it's a very difficult subject. It's certainly in electronics. We're an electronics company. There's very little around, certainly in our area, in East Anglia. So we found, frankly, we bring in raw students or graduates. We have to do a lot of training on the job, a lot, because frankly there isn't much around. So it really falls on us to provide those training skills. And it works because we bring a lot of young people in, but it's slow, it's expensive. We're in Germany now. They have a wonderful system here, so much better than we have in the UK, but we seem unable to match that.
I think my view is you need a little bit of both, to be honest. I think the experience, of course, has a great deal of value. We have engineers in our company who is getting close to retirement, but still we get a great value from them. But we also need the mix with the new talent because that provides energy in the team, I think, which is important.
Heavy investment, very strong in our market. We really look after employees. So a lot of people have been Pickering a long, long time. You invest heavily, you look after people, really look after customers. It's all about long-term profit. Short-term, we don't care. It's 5-10 years, not next quarter, don't care. And I think the German model is fantastic, so we're mostly following that.